Well, hello everybody. You are listening to a Mr.Cygnus audio commentary. So please kindly pause the replay at the 30-second mark and tell everyone in your house to shut up and turn off the freaking TV because Mr.Cygnus audio commentary is more important than American freaking Idol! What's up everybody, this is Mr.Cygnus. I guess my Arnold Schwarzenegger impression isn't the best, but it's still pretty good. Let's guys go ahead and pause the replay at the 30-second mark, and I have a special game for you guys. This is kind of like a strategy I've been working on for a pretty long time. Actually, more than a month. I talked to Grubby like more than a month ago. I told that guy, I was like, damn dude, Orc is just complete bullshit. And he was like, boy, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So anyways, actually Grubby doesn't talk like somebody from like Texas or something like that, like a hick. He sounds like more something like Mr. Cygnus. He kinda sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger, except not like if he's about to kill somebody. But anyways, he told me, he was like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to start using Beastmaster and Panda Brewmaster and Tavern Heroes. Night Elf is hella broken. So I kind of went with that. I went with a few ideas. So anyways, I was thinking to myself, I was actually using the Beastmaster, and I was thinking I'd go with the Firelord also. And then the problem is that the Orcs would always go like Grunt Shaman, and every time I used Beastmaster, Firelord, Hunts, Archer, Talon, Dryad, I would just get owned, man, especially with tower rushes and stuff, because they'd purge, tower rush, and I'm left with crap. 2 useless heroes. So anyways, I was thinking to myself, I need to do something a little different. And then I thought to myself, how would bears go? I was thinking, because if they're going if they're going grunts and shamans, I was thinking, well, geez, maybe I should go bears and dryads, because dryads can dispel anything that the shamans put on, lightning shield, and if they for some reason got tier 3 bloodlust, and bears with royal rejuvenation and in general are just better than grunts, then my army's going to walk all over their army if they go grunts and shamans. But if they go Kodo, Raider, all that stuff, I'll get more into that anyways. But basically put together a huge imba strategy, so you guys should really enjoy this big time, and hopefully it works out alright. And anyways, my opponent, JNG Marquinos or something like that. It kind of looks like a Spanish name or something like that. JNG Marquinos, puta, maricón, pinche joto, chúpame huevos. Okay, anyways, enough with that stuff. All the Mexican listeners are like, oh, Mr. Cygnus! He's one of us! Well, that's what happens, you live in California, man. Everyone speaks frickin' Spanish. You see a bunch of white boys walking around speaking Spanish and shit. Using my cousin, dude, I swear to God, that fool is like the whitest fool on earth. He's like typical, I don't know, he's like a surfer, He lives in Southern California, so he's a lifeguard. And that guy speaks like the most fluent Spanish. It's hilarious, man. He looks like a surfer guy. He's like, you expect him to come up to you and go, whoa, what's up, dude? Whoa, do you want a toke of my reefer? But instead, he's like speaking Spanish and shit. You're like, fuck. Well, anyways, enough with that random BS. Let's get this replay fired up, man. You guys are in a freaking treat today, I swear to God. This is just going to be a good-ass replay, because I know I hooked you guys up with a strategy that you can use versus Undead and Human on Lost Temple, and I hooked you guys up with some other strategies that I'm always working on all the time. Well, this one, my friends, is going to take care of every orc on a tavern map. There's no way you can possibly lose if you do the strategy correctly. And in this whole replay and audio commentary, blah blah blah, I'm going to be going over all that stuff, and it should be pretty enjoyable. And man, I've just been getting an overwhelming PM, blah, 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 just get that out right now so I don't screw up later. Amount of PMs from people who are just like, dude, I don't know what to do versus Orc, man, I'm getting fucked up. I'll get my ass kicked, I get Tower Rushed, and Grunt Raider Demo. What do I do? I've tried everything. So this should really just, man, this is just gonna make your day. I think this is just one of the most imbalanced, broken strategies of all time, and I'll go over it a little bit later. But anyways, I just got a few tips, a few good news, I guess, or something like that. I know I was talking about needing to join a clan a couple audio commentaries ago. I did join Clan Lynx with Myth and Zerter, but unfortunately Clan Lynx is taking a bit of a break right now. Zerter's playing for Ownage, and Myth is he's gone for about a month or so on break, and so that left me kind of open. So I cleared it up with those guys, and I'm gonna play for Clan XPL as I got a message from Perfume West, and he's a good friend of mine. I should know that guy in real life. So he's like, dude, you know, you'd be like a great addition to the 1v1 squad on XPL. So I was like, alright, cool, you know, I'm down with the XPL. So I joined up and switched back over to East, so I'm no longer playing on Asia. So I'm kind of glad, because the lag on Asia really sucks the fat wing. So I'm pretty tired of it. I'm tired of losing games because of like 1 to 2 second lag. So my nerves aren't so stressed. But anyways, so that was out. Let's get this shit on the paused. So let's unpause. You guys should be at the 30-second mark by now. If you're not there, do a dance, do what you gotta do, pee on the wall, whatever. Okay, let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alright. Let me adjust the headset right quick. Alright, anyway, so map is Knollwood. It doesn't really matter. You can pull this strategy off on any tavern, any tavern map. Basically what I'm going to be doing is the standard neutral. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Dude, I swear to God, you know, I'm not going to say this person's name. Yeah, I'm not going to say it over the air right now, but dude, I swear to God, there's a couple people, one person specifically, who just will not freaking stop whispering me. Especially when I'm in games, you know. You know, the first thing I usually do before I whisper somebody on Battle.net is I always check to see if they're in a freaking game. You know, because it's just common sense and common courtesy. But, one person in particular doesn't get the freaking hint. So, yeah. Anyways, I misfired that response there. But, whatever, who cares about that shiznatch? Okay, so you will notice I'm doing the Wisp block as usual. This is pretty standard. You should always do this, especially versus a Blade Master user. And Lord and behold, J&G dude, that's how I'm gonna call him. This replay is building indeed a freaking Beastmaster. So what I do is I scout out and I notice he's right next to me. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, he might be doing some harassment here, whether it be a Farseer or a Blade Master. Grunts coming in, messing with your stuff. So I keep it nice and compact right here, so it's harder for him to run in and out and harass me. And you will find out that that does pay off. So in any of the wisps that I can't hide behind the well altar moonwell, I do stash them around the map. You will notice I stuck a wisp next to that Goblin Merchant. I did that shit because in case he's using a Farseer, he might run his 2 wolves in there without paying attention, and blah blah, that's free experience. GG, thank you, you're a biatch. Anyways, the dude picks up the Beastmaster. You know what is pretty slick is I have all my shit blocked, so basically that's good game early harassment there. Now all you can do is get that one wisp that he happened to find that I was trying to put in that little crevice. So I picked up my Beastmaster. I'm like, alright, dude's making a Blade Master, so there's one or two things he's doing. Number one, he's doing the standard shit that every other freaking Orc player does, except he picked a Blade Master first to distract me, maybe convince me that he's doing a tech or something like that, when he's actually massing grunts in the back of his base, which he is doing. He's massing grunts in the back of his base. So, I'm just gonna weaken his Blade Master down. I do notice he has a healing salve and a lesser clarity potion, so there's no point in me trying to follow him around and waste my time. So what I do is I take my 2 Coal Beasts and I'm gonna send them up to his base. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I want to definitely make sure this guy isn't doing a straight tech with no racks and just doing towers, and he's gonna try out an air tech or something like that. If he indeed is doing that, well then you would be watching a completely different audio commentary. Well, actually, you wouldn't even be watching this right now because I'm not trying to show that strategy right now. I'm doing audio commentary on the typical orc build. So anyways, I do notice he has 2 grunts, he has racks, and he's getting to tier 2, so I'm like, alright, cool. He's doing the same thing all other orc players do, except he's using a Blade Master first. And to tell you the truth, seeing the Blade Master first is a little more typical now that those Zakhard replays were out, and he used the Blade Master to beat a few elf players. So I see a lot of other orc players doing the same thing. And to tell you the truth, personally, in my opinion, the Blade Master early game is way better than a Farseer for harassment. And late game, he's not as good. I guess I wouldn't say he's not as good as a Farseer, but it just depends on how you use him. So, and you will see that this guy can use a Blade Master damn freaking well. So anyways, he's sending over his grunts. He's going to start messing with me. But at this point, I'm massing up hunts. Now, the reason why I go early hunts instead of archers, like you see most people do with their Beastmaster, that's pretty simple. Because every high-level orc player that I know, and being I played a lot on Asia as well, they do the same thing that you see a lot now. Instead of doing a Farseer grunt early creeping, they do a Farseer grunt early freaking harassment. So if you're going Beastmaster archers, which typically most Night Elf players do, they're going to kill all your archers. And if they don't kill your archers, they're going to use the shit out of your Moonwells. And then that's going to hurt you later on when they tower rush you. So what I do is I do a Huntress build. And also nice thing about doing a Huntress build is that it allows me to tech a little, I wouldn't say faster, but better, because I can get the wisps out that I need instead of having to rely on a second Moonwell to pop up before I can start building wisp production, and that slows down my tech to tier 2. So anyways, I do pick up my Fire Lord second, so what I want to do is I want to attack his base as soon as possible. Reason being is I want to get there before a second hero pops out. Most players now do get the Shadow Hunter second, and that's rightfully the best hero you can get for as a hunt user. If I was getting archers, it'd probably be smarter to get a Tauren Chieftain. Archer, Talon, Dryad would just get run over with Shockwave, Chain Lightning. But Hex and Serpent Wards are excellent for tower rushing, and excellent for hexing early hunts and getting some easy kills, which you're pretty much going to see pretty soon. Well, anyways, what I was doing with my hunts is I was trying to get as much harassment going while I could to slow him down. So anyways, I was able to take out one of his burrows, which is actually pretty huge, which is going to slow him down nicely, and also took out that bestiary, which is another excellent thing. If you can take out those bestiaries, that's a big, huge plus to you, because that'll slow down any form of tower rush or harassment that he's going to be doing a little later on, and slow down his tech. But unfortunately, I did lose my my Fire Lord, and I lost a hunt. I don't know if that was worth it or not. I personally think it was probably worth it, because I slowed him down greatly, so he couldn't pump out what he needs to pump out. But I'm like, oh shit, here he is again, so I'm like running the hell out of there, because I really don't want to engage him away from my Moonwells. What I could have done, I could have taken a Wisp, and I could have detonated on my own Huntress so that I can run it out of the way. But unfortunately, I didn't know if he's going to get a Shadow Hunter second or not. I should have predicted he would. And personally, I think Shadow Hunter makes an excellent second hero. He's Hex is, especially with this strategy I'm going to be doing, this is your best bet if you're an orc player to try and beat this strategy, even though there is no possible way you can ever beat it if done correctly, because it's just that freaking imbalanced. Some of you guys might even recognize that this is indeed the same strategy that that Showtime Where I used to beat Grubby 2-0. I did not indeed copy his strategy. Matter of fact, I was working with this probably, I wouldn't say before him, but maybe we both started working on the same strategy at the same time, because I've been working to try and perfect this as much as possible. So finally got it to work out just perfect. You will notice I have hit tier 3 already, and I'm starting to pump out my bears. This is probably the point where you're most vulnerable. If he was to try and tower rush, here's the thing. This is why you can't be tower rushed when you're going 2 summoning heroes, even if this guy went Shaman and Grunt, because I'm at the moon walls, and you can just pump out hell of, you can pump out a ton of summons and use rejuvenation from your bears plus on your heroes and hold off a tower rush until you get master training bears and then walk all over towers. Now you will notice this guy is like right next to me, and he pretty much knows that if he was to try and tower rush me, it wouldn't work, and if he was going to tower rush me, he probably would have done it because he's so close to me on this map. So but just trust me, if you micro right and you hold him off long enough, you can get your master bears out, use roar, and roar on top of your summons. That's huge damage, and you'll pull out with the victory over a tower rush. So he doesn't want to have to use a tower rush, because that's almost like an all or nothing strategy versus this. Instead, he did the smart thing. He's going to wait and try and creep up a little bit, try and get raiders and grunts going on, so maybe he can do some hit and run action on me. But while there's going to be a bunch of creeping going on, I'm going to explain to you guys why this strategy works so well, and why it's so hard for orcs to try and counter it. Okay, orc has the advantage over night elf at the very beginning of the game, when you can get a farseer or a blade master and a couple grunts and come harass a night elf player and attack constructing moon walls, attack archers, do some hero harassment, kill wisps. That's when orc has the advantage, but unfortunately that's a very short-lived advantage, because if night elf starts pumping out early huntress, all of a sudden the advantage goes in the night elf favor, because all he has is grunts and 1 hero against a summoning hero and mass huntress. Huntress are better than grunts in groups. So then all you have to do is just keep the orc dude from harassing. Keep the orc dude, from harassing or creeping by harassing him. If you can't find his army, then just go and attack his base and take out burrows. If you can find his army, we'll just go ahead and start trying to pick off grunts or kill easy, try and kill some wolves, or maybe try and get a hero surround, whatever you gotta do. Just put on a lot of pressure. A little bit after that, as soon as tier 2 hits for orc, when they start pumping out either shaman or raiders, well then the advantage will go into the orc favor again when he's got raiders or shaman and grunts, and then you can just purge, surround, kill, huntress, and then you get the shadow hunter out. But that advantage yet again is short-lived. As soon as you tech straight to tier 3, you've got rejuvenation, roar, mass hunt, some bears, 2 summoning heroes, and all of a sudden, bam, you got master training bears. Now as soon as night elf hits tier 3, with this strategy, you're at a huge advantage. Well, anyways, there's a battle, so I'll get more into that a little bit later. I am at the Fountain of Mana, and here's the thing. He's got 1 Demolisher, mass grunts, and raiders. So the raiders help a little bit, but because it's a melee versus melee battle, ensnaring bears really isn't going to do much unless you're trying to focus fire and kill bears. Because we're next to a Fountain of Mana, unfortunately the advantage is in his favor, and if I was probably not at a mana fountain right now, I probably could have won this battle in a big way, but unfortunately this guy's dropping mass serpent wards, because this guy's got like infinite mana, so he's hexing and dropping fat amount of serpent wards, and my dryads are going down pretty fast, and my huntresses are going down pretty fast. I was trying to get a kill off on his blade master, but I really needed to get rid of that demolisher, because that's just ripping up my hunts and my dryads really bad. So down goes the demolisher, so that's good. So now I'm trying to kill off the rest of his grunts. I did realize his blade master is in the red now, so I was like, alright, cool, I need to kill that blade master really fast, but he got rid of my hawk, so I was like, screwed. So I'm like, shit, let me take out this shadow hunter. But his serpent wards are kicking my ass, so unfortunately I'm forced to TP out. And before I can TP out, he hexes my Beastmaster, so I had to, I tried to cast Rejuvenation, except my bear died before I can cast it, so I was screwed, so I was forced to TP out. So thanks to the nice micro by J&G, he fought me off, and I lost my freaking Firelord again. So, and if you will notice, Hex lasts for days on bears, man. Look at that. That frog is jumping around. It's taken forever. So anyways, right now, he's doing the smart thing. I'm sorry, but if you're going to go grunt and shaman, you deserve to get your ass kicked. And I'll explain why. Alright, now that I have a few moments. Here's the thing, okay. So, Orc has two options when it comes to countering this strategy. They go, alright, dude's going mass bears, and he's going dryads. If he's going to go like, alright, fine. What I need to do is I need to go grunt, raider, demolisher, Kodo beast. So, you get about 3 or 4 Kodo beasts, you run them in, you eat the bears, and then the demolishers will take care of the dryads, and the raiders will take care of any other bears to keep them from microing in their trap, and you can't use them. So that takes care of the army. So he counters my army perfectly. But unfortunately, what he's neglecting is the fact that, let's say I have a level 3 Beastmaster and like a level 3 Firelord. At that time of the game, you should have that. Even though I don't, because I only have a level 2 Firelord. Whatever. Then you've got Cruel Beast level 2 or Hawk level 2, and you've got Lava Spawns. So while he's fighting my bears and my dryads, my Lava Spawns and Cruel Beasts and my Hawk are just ripping his army a new ass. Because Kodo Beasts have no armor, they take extra damage from piercing. So all I need to do is take my dryads, my summons, and focus fire the Kodos, and then take my bears and rejuvenation roar, and they in general kick grunt ass. And being raiders have medium, they have normal armor, they're gonna get ripped up by the bears hella quick. That's how you win in that situation, like you're seeing right now. That's exactly what he's doing. Now let's say he went shaman grunt like all people do versus double summoning heroes, or even just versus Beastmaster first in general. What happens is he goes grunt shaman, so what I do is I take my dryads and I focus them on the shaman, and I cast rejuvenation roar on my bears, and I don't even need summons to win. I can just you can just win the game with your army by itself, and then after you whoop his ass, you just expand and type GG because the game's over. Now some of you guys are probably thinking, what happens if they go grunt and Windrider? Well, that's pretty simple, because all you have to do is you've got Cruel Beast plus Lava Spawns. I mean, that's gonna kick a Windrider ass right there. Plus you have maybe a few dryads, even though those will die pretty quickly. You just use the you just stick an orb of venom on your Beastmaster, and then now, ba-boom, your Beastmaster becomes anti-air. So it's gonna be doing fat ass damage to that. It's gonna be doing fat damage to those Windriders. So Windriders is not an option at all. Wyvern will just get their asses whooped. So basically, what you're left with as your best option is to do what you see my opponent doing right here: Grunt Raider, Kodo Beast, and hope it works out for the best. Hope your opponent screws up or something. Because other than that, Windriders is definitely not an option. The summons in general are going to own them pretty fat, especially level 3 Cruel Beast and level 3 Lava Spawn. I mean, that's fat damage to Windriders. They wouldn't stand a chance. Plus an orb of venom. And Grunt Shaman, as I explained before, are just going to get stomped. So that's why this strategy is just so imbalanced, dude. There's just no way that if this is done properly and you got your timing right and you do good enough harassment, there's no way he can tower rush you. There's no way he can Grunt Raider demo you. There's no way he can Windrider. And you'll see right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and trade expansions. I know he's got raiders, so he's gonna be able to take out that Tree of Life hella fast. So I'm not even gonna TP in there. I don't even want to get myself in a bad position. I'm gonna take out his Great Halls as soon as possible. So and I'll explain when you should make the transition from bears to dryads plus bears, and I'll get to that after this battle. There'll be a battle pretty soon, as he is TPing in right now. So I take out the Town Hall right now, just in case. So now that's out of the way. Now I just position my units in the right position. Okay, see, I focus fire his his Kodo beast with my Dryads right now. If he was to use wolves, you can just dispel with the Dryads. That's why... See, a Blade Master... There goes my freaking Fire Lord again. You're dead. Anyways, that's why in this situation, a Blade Master is so much better than a Farseer, because if you just dispel the wolves with the Dryads, the Farseer is useless. It's the same thing as a Beastmaster with his shamans dispelled, with his summons dispelled by shamans. They basically become useless. So, with him using a Blade Master, he's got that Windwalk strike, and he can just keep doing that and doing lots of damage to my bears. And with the Shadow Hunter, he can keep hexing, ensnaring, eating my bears. So that's his best bet right there. So he's got level 5 Shadow Hunter, level 4 Blade Master. I've got level 4, almost, like barely almost level 5 Beastmaster. Now right now I stuck up another expansion. I'll expect him to be scouting out pretty soon. I did expect him to be at the Fountain of Mana, doing his thing. As you saw me do before, I always pick up a Scroll of Protection, Scroll of Healing. It's so important. Scroll of Protection is definitely worth the 150 gold, big time. But anyways, I'm still upgrading my bears, and this is what's so nice, is because lore upgrades affect everything you'll be using this game, so all you gotta do is just keep upgrading your lores, and I've got 2 Dryads, 2 bears. So right now, I left my bear out in the open. That was so stupid. I was really pissed I lost a bear. But anyways, I TP in right now. I'm like, whatever. So, he's got his Kodos, he's got a demo, his raiders. I killed all his other Kodos from our last battle. So, the best he can do is tromp down one bear real quick. And I do notice he's TPing out, so I try and run my bears all the way. I'm like, oh, motherfucker, and he ate that shit. Damn it. I was pissed. But I did get level 5. So, I'm like, alright, well, I need to attack him right now, because, you know, I'm at a significant advantage right now. And I think it's time I attack. Plus, I don't want to leave a man behind there. Mr.Cygnus never leaves a man behind, so I'm going to get that bear back. I knew it was a full health bear, so I got a few moments to run back there and get that shit. So, my Fire Lord pops out, and look at that hexed bear. That was pretty funny. It was taking all day to run. Anyways, I'm going to pick up Scroll of Protection, Scroll of Healing, and Teleport Scroll. Or, looks like I don't have that much money, so I'm just going to get a Teleport Scroll and a Scroll of Healing. Always get a Teleport Scroll. Don't ever go into battle without a freaking Teleport Scroll. All you have to do is focus fire your hero, and then you lose the game, because you're a dumbass and you didn't pick up your Teleport Scroll. So anyways, back to knowing when to make the transition to Dryads. Alright, after you kill out his Demolishers, and you show him that you're going Mass Bears, he's going to try and overcompensate for going Mass Bears. So what he's going to do is he's going to skip on the Demolisher and go more Raiders, Kodo, Grunt. Now, Dryads do shitload of damage to Kodos, and they're going to own Grunts. So that's when I go more Dryads. And but if this guy's smarter than that, so he goes 3 Demolisher, because he knows I'm going to have Mass Dryads, and plus Demolishers do actually do pretty decent damage to bears. So I cast a Scroll of Protection, Scroll of Healing. Unfortunately, my freaking Fire Lord's being focused on again, so down goes the Fire Lord. But before he dies, I cast a Lightning Shield on my bear, so he's owning up those Demolishers. And Beastmaster's still looking pretty fat right here. Now his Grunt Raider just got ripped up pretty hard. Now I'm focusing on his Shadow Hunter, but I'm not gonna overdo it. I don't want to lose to a bunch of Serpent Wards, so now I'm focusing on the Serpent Wards. Hit level 6 with the Beastmaster, so I'm like, alright, all good. His Blade Master died. So I was actually trying to cast Stampede right here, and it took me all day. Couldn't find the right place to cast the damn thing. So I cast Stampede, and this guy, he's pretty smart, so he hexes my Beastmaster. So, but unfortunately down goes the Shadow Hunter. And so, I'm just going to seal the deal here by focusing the Altar of Storms, and pretty much end this game right now. And, so this guy was level 48. Pretty good player. I don't think I've ever faced him in ladder before. So anyways, that was just pretty much a good game right there. Just as a basic overview, I'm going to do a basic overview real fast and try and explain try and explain the whole basis on why this strategy works versus Orc, and works on any map, even if the Orc player is right next to you. Because you have the early game advantage with Beastmaster hunts, you can harass and power creep faster than he can. But you must have just harass, because that's what you want to do, is just try and keep your opponent on his toes and maybe slow down his production as much as possible. At Tier 2, because you get a Fire Lord, that pretty much takes care of the Tier 2 tower rush. Because you have wells and you're at base, you've got hunts and summons, mass summons, so you can just keep pumping those out pretty fast. So a tower rush is pretty much out of the question. And then you're on to Grunt Raider Demolisher, and you got his either Farseer and whatever. Because you have Dryads, pretty much Farseer becomes useless except for Chain Lightning. And then you've got either a Shadow Hunter second, which you'll most likely see. All you got to do is bash down his units, as you just saw in the game, and it's pretty much no counter. I mean, there's nothing Orc can really do to counter this strategy. It is pretty broken. It's very hard to beat, and this should pretty much seal the deal, and you guys pretty much can't lose at all versus Orc anymore. I hope this really helps out. I mean, you guys really like the Priestess of the Moon strategy. That was pretty cool. I think in the audio before that, I did, let me double check. I did that another Orc audio commentary. That's a pretty good strategy too. That was on non-tavern. Maybe I can bust out with some more verse Orc strategies if you need it. But anyways, I'm working on an undead strategy actually right now, so I'm putting the works on it. It's not quite finished yet. I'm still trying to test it out. You guys will pretty much notice that my stats suck major ass on East. I mean, they're really bad. Actually, I started out undefeated. I went up to like 15-0 or something like that, and then I got beat by MTW Shock, who's a friend of mine, and the fucker took my freaking win. So after that, I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna just start testing strategies out so I can do audio commentaries on that stuff and help all those elf players out there with having hard times. So looks like it's paying off. This strategy is really freaking good. If you need more help and you want another example of this strategy, just go look for those Grubby vs. Showtime replays on Turtle Rock. You will see that the strategy is pretty broken, and that there's not really, it's just a joke, man. I mean, you can't really nerf the Beastmaster or the Fire Lord, because if you did that, then they wouldn't be good at all. And you know, there's nothing. I don't even know how Blizzard can fix this, because it's just really ridiculous. There's no freaking counter to this strategy. I mean, unless the Orc player was like extremely Gosu and like really, instead of you harassing him, he messed with you and maybe used. Oh, I forgot. That's right. I need to tell you guys. Let's say he's going to Farseer and doing that double wolf harassment inside your base. If you can, I swear, avoid it as much as possible, because you're trying to tech. Instead of going to Tier 2 Archer Talon Dryad and just replacing your wisps that you use to detonate wolves with throughout the early game, try just not to do that. Try and just keep them hidden and behind the altar of moonwells and stuff so they can't be hit, because you don't want to be wasting your wisps when you could be using them to tech. Because you do not want to spend any time between Tier 2 and Tier 3. I mean, as soon as you hit Tier 2, you want to boom, you're right into Tier 3. So that's why I hid my stuff behind the wells and stuff. If I kept my stuff in the open, he went Blade Master, he would have knocked out all my wisps, and I would have lost the game. So that's how. So if you're an Orc player and you come up against a strategy, which you will be seeing, the best bet you have is to try and kill as many wisps as possible, and prevent attack to Tier 3 anytime soon. And hopefully you can get your Grunt Shaman out and do a tower rush with Grunt Shaman. And that's the only way an Orc player can really beat the strategy, is just do a really good harassment, kill as many wisps as possible. If you can, even force the guy to detonate on your wolves. I know that's going to give him a really fat experience, but then again, he's not going to be able to tech to Tier 3 because he has to replace those wisps. And each and every wisp is pretty important. So as you saw in that game, I only lost one wisp. So, or two. I think I lost two. You don't want to lose any more than that. I usually overproduce wisps early game so that I don't have to build any more later on. So there's basically no pause between 2 and 3. I went tier 2, then to tier 3. Didn't even pass go or collect my $200. So anyways, that's pretty much that. I was just kind of thinking to myself, I know this is kind of wrong. I don't mean to clown on any other audio commentators of this site, but doesn't Freak sound like that guy Kip from Napoleon Dynamite? He's like, stop it! Try and hit me! That's messed up, but it's funny. I know you guys are laughing. Oh shit. Dead air. Mr.Cygnus, find something funny. Mr.Cygnus. Mr.Cygnus. Dude, you know who I really like? I don't know if you guys ever used to watch wrestling back in the day, but you remember the Macho Man? Dude, that guy freaking ruled. I know this is kind of random, but it's like the Macho Man. I always wondered, how do you make that voice? It's like, oh yeah, suck it to a Slim Jim. And like, I used to try. He'd be like, dude, how do I do his voice? And the funniest thing, I remember one time I was taking a crap, and my brother yelled to me. He's like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, taking a crap. Oh yeah. That's how I figured out how to do that. But anyways, that was hella stupid. That guy rules. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the audio right now because I only got shit to talk about. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoy the audio commentary. Hope the Strat helps out. If you guys have questions in your shoutouts, feel free to PM the Sigmaster, and Mr. Siggy Dog will answer them for you. So thanks again, guys. Anyways, enjoy the imbalance, guys. Win a few games and make us noob elves look good. Alright, guys. Thanks for listening. Stay cool. Appreciate all the comments. Oh, by the way, appreciate all the comments you guys leave for me. I read them all, and it's nice to know that I help people out, and it's nice to know I make you guys laugh every now and then. Alright, stay cool, everyone. Peace.